Hello everyone. Today we have a very special guest, Celine and Jonas. I will let you guys introduce yourself and we'll go from there.
Yeah, so hi, my name is Celine. I'm from JCI Tallinn. I'm JCI Tallinn's president this year.
Hi, my name is Jonas. I'm also a member of the JCI community. I'm the president of JCI Rakvere. Happy to be here.
Hey, welcome to our channel. So how did you get into this organization?
So when I came back from my Erasmus in the Netherlands, I was there for 5 months. I felt a bit empty after coming back and being without my new international friends and having, days full of life, going somewhere with people, doing something with people, doing something extra than just having your 9 to 5 daily job. So I was back here in Estonia. I was just moving to Tallinn. I had my first, like a real grown-up job. I was graduating from university. And I was like, is that really it? Is that 9 to 5 grinding really it that life has for me? So I started looking for new opportunities. And at first I was like, okay, maybe I just need to, I don't know, maybe study something extra, go to university, have a new master's degree or something. And I read a book that's written by Harald Lepisk and Ronald Toko. And it's called, in Estonian, Minu elukutse, which in English is My Life Calling. So it's like a self-help book where they ask you questions and lead you your life calling. And Harald was talking about this organization there, that when he was a student, he joined in the organization of JCI, and that's where his career path started as a trainer. So I was like, that's interesting. And that's how I learned about JCI, and that's how I got into that organization.
That's interesting. Like you wanted to do something outside of your work because you were maybe you saw yourself like being something extra than just
I
some
really
work.
I really felt like that maybe what I had learned or chosen in university, maybe that's not 100% for me. And I was trying to find ways to explore what else can I be or what else can I do, and find new people around me as well in that journey.
Yeah, I think I also feel that way sometimes because I don't want to be, you know, with the work thing like 9 to 5. Maybe that's why I am like exploring different things like podcasts and stuff like this. What about you, Jonas?
That was a good story. I wish I had a story like that. For me, it was basically inexpensive training courses. JCI has famously high quality training courses because the trainers are also the members, and you can, instead of going to Äripäev and spending 400 euros for a course easily, you can do a very high quality training course in our community for like 20 euros, 15 euros an event, and at these rates, it's good that you can also focus on self-improvement, and it was something that was also something I focused on about a year and a half ago when I first started going to these types of events. And
What kind of training courses are those?
Different topics. These vary from investment, the ABC, to entrepreneurship trainings courses, things like that.
Okay, so Celine, have you been involved in any sort of projects that you thought like you really made an impact to change something?
Me myself?
Yes.
I was a project manager of a project called Be Wise last year. So this is a project where we organize training courses like Jonas talked about. Every month there's a different trainer that we invite to give us a training on a different topic. And I feel like maybe it's not like that, like a big thing that changes the world, but I feel like for the people that come there to the classroom and improve themselves and learn something new, it can be that little
Yeah,
seed that
definitely.
starts something bigger that can change the world. Yeah.
That's amazing, actually. What about you?
Uh, come again. What do you mean? Can you repeat the
Um,
question?
yeah, I was asking like if you have done any sort of projects that you thought like is very meaningful to other people and to you also.
Well, for sure, the one that we did, the spring conference, we did an event, a conference a few weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
and that was definitely a significant uh, event for me that focused mainly on mental health and entrepreneurship.
Mm-hmm.
We had about 130, 140 visitors, which and most of these are the members of this community. So and it's yeah, it was an excellent event. Uh, that it's not just for these small group of people that are inside the community, but also the speakers are engaged. That these are entrepreneurs from this local area. These are we had musicians come and perform at the event who were also local. So we are engaging with this many parts of this kind of area and community. So that was really good.
Mm-hmm. So how does these experiences kind of like shape your mindset before you were maybe if you were not involved in these kind of events, how would you describe yourself? And if you are involved in these, like, did it change your mindset somehow?
My mindset, it's definitely kind of opened up uh, the possibility and on seeing myself getting more involved with these. For example, when I joined, we talked about when I joined firstly with this community for the reason of some nice training courses. I could never have imagined that I'd play a larger part than that. Now, just barely a year later, I'm organizing larger conferences, and that is definitely something I couldn't dream would be the case in those early days.
Yeah, okay. What about you, Celine?
I feel that when I first joined JCI, or I heard about JCI, I met with the president of Tallinn in 2023 at Daisy. And when she told me about what they are doing and everything about the organization and like her responsibilities as a president of this organization, in my head I was like, thank God I'm not a president of something, it seems like a lot. But now, like, it's not even 2 years later, I'm in the same position. So it shows that I'm actually capable of doing these things that I thought that are so hard and not for me. And I just, I'm telling, like, honestly, sometimes we don't know what we're doing, but I feel like if you take a new role, then you learn as you're going.
Yeah.
And that's something that if you have that in your mindset, it really can change things for you.
Yeah, I think it's good to have the mindset, as you said, like that you are capable of doing anything actually if you are like if you put your mind into it. Do
Yeah,
you agree with
it
that?
takes faith.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that sometimes I agree. It definitely takes faith, and sometimes these days you hear a lot about this imposter syndrome,
Oh, yes.
and it's good that sometimes faith of others, not just you. You might say that. "Oh, I don't know. I mean, you think so?" And the faith of others, other people saying that, yeah, you definitely you have the skills, you have the capabilities and competence to take this on, and you're gonna be like, okay. I mean, let's if you guys think so, and fully feeling all of this weight on their shoulders, but still deciding to go forward.
Yeah.
What do you think about fake it till you make it?
Fake it till
Oh,
you make
that's
it.
a good one.
Have you been there?
Definitely. I think we all have been there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some days you just feel like you don't know what you're doing, but you have to do something, and maybe you don't have anybody to ask, or you do, but they tell you what to do, but you don't know how to do it, so you just start doing something,
Mm.
and then
Mm-hmm.
maybe get out of that like rut feeling that you're
Yeah.
in that
Mhm.
hole of fake it till you make it.
Mhm.
I think that so as well. It seems to be the case, at least within JCI. I keep hearing this over and over again. That's okay. You can feel the fear, but you
Mhm.
can't let that stop you.
Mhm.
Be afraid, but still do that
Mhm.
activity or thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of my my is it a motto? Like
Yeah,
yeah,
Yeah.
like motto in my
Mhm.
life
That's
Mhm.
that like even if I'm scared of something, I will do it scared.
Mm-hmm.
If I
That's
want to
good
do
one.
it,
Yeah.
I have to remind
nice.
myself of that sometimes. But
Mhm.
There is another one I know. If you're a little scared, that means you should do it.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
What if you are like really scared?
That means you definitely should.
but I have also heard that if you are if you're scared, if you decide to do something and you're scared, but if you have decided to do it, you shouldn't be scared anymore.
Mm.
But then just do it, because if you're scared, then you cannot fully put your mind to it, because
Mm.
half of your energy
Mhm.
will go to being scared.
Mhm.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I can just add on top of that the first after you take the first steps
Mhm.
towards the goal, the
Yeah.
anxiety decreases dramatically.
Yeah.
It seems to be the case
Yeah.
in me at least.
I agree.
Mm. I think in our last podcast we were talking about thinking about the end goal, right? Like, we should do it by just imagining, oh, like what will happen after we achieve this thing. So even though you are suffering from pain or whatever, but if you are looking for the end goal, at that time you're like, oh yes, I really need to do it this because I know the result of it or something.
Yeah, like looking at the bigger picture
Yes,
Mhm.
that's a good way.
beyond the
Yes.
frames.
Mm-hmm.
What's what it takes and
Mm-hmm.
what it will bring,
Mm-hmm.
basically.
Yeah. Have you guys been ever scared of doing some public speaking? Because I think I used to be very scared before.
Do you want to go first?
Yes,
I mean, I can.
Yeah.
Most definitely so. Definitely. I think the main reason why I am part of. You already heard why I joined
Yes.
and took interest in the organization, but why I stayed was that this is an excellent space where one can improve on the skills of communication.
Mm.
If you think about who's the best salesman, a great communicator. Who's the best marketer, a great communicator. Who's the best leader, a great communicator. And I think this is a very good space where you know a good community where you can practice those types of skills. May it be on stage or also off stage, kind of one-on-one even. You can talk about your projects and put those things together for that most definitely. And I still feel stress and anxiety if I do a speaking engagement wherever, but that's
Mhm.
okay because like Celine said, you feel the
Yeah.
fears and you still go on.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to learn from one point of our life anyway.
Mhm.
Do you have any experience like this?
I feel that you mentioned one-to-one conversations, and I feel like sometimes they can be even more scarier than public speaking in front of a lot of people, because then it's more intimate. Like especially if you have like a hard topic or something that you want to tell to the other person that it's not that good, or you have to have that hard conversation, it can be even harder, I think,
Mm-hmm.
than to speak
Yeah,
publicly.
you can.
But coming back to your last question,
Mm-hmm.
I feel that I have always been a person that's not that scared of public speaking, but I still do have that like a bit of it's not fear, but like I would say excitement or
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
bit of something in me that is like, okay, you can feel it that
Mm-hmm.
that you have to do something kind of not that comfortable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think some people are already have that kind of skill, right? Because maybe they are
Yeah.
comfortable within themselves or something.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's not a skill, maybe it's more of a like being used to it.
Practice.
Practice, yeah. Because when I was younger,
Mm-hmm.
I used to sing and perform a lot
Mm-hmm.
and like in front of my whole school as a teenager, which can be even trickier than being a grown up. And I think that was a great practice for me.
Yeah, I think that kind of gave you the confidence I think you needed. Yeah. Mm-hmm. What about this comfort zone? I actually want to know more about comfort zone. About maybe have you pushed yourself like even like maybe while doing these projects at your organization or maybe even outside of your work? Like have you pushed yourself like oh yes
Yeah,
I really want to do this but you know maybe you don't feel comfortable within yourself but you
absolutely.
really have to do those
Yeah.
things.
When I was 16, I really
Mm.
wanted to go and be international student or do like this exchange year. But back then I didn't have the resources to do that, so I kind of canceled it. But it still kept being in my mind that I really want to do it. And as I started this podcast, I was telling you about my Erasmus, so I did that. But when I first got the yes that you can go, I was so anxious about it that I cried. I wanted to go, but I was so scared of that because it felt like such a big thing, like going to another country without anybody that I know. I really, really wanted to do that, but at the same time, it was really, really scary. And I remember the night before I left to the airport, I was crying so bad that my boyfriend was like, "Are you gonna go?" And I was like, "Okay, I cannot not go, you know, I am gonna go," but it was scary. But when I arrived there and I was there for a few weeks, I got used to it and it was so much fun and it was something that I fulfilled my dream. But it was still coming out of my comfort zone because I was
Yeah.
there with strangers in a strange country. I was there alone, like,
Yeah.
but yeah, I feel like after I had finished that, I really learned the thing that we were also talking about that you sometimes have to do things when you're scared.
Yeah, I think if we don't push ourselves like outside of our comfort zone, then we might not really learn. I think did you saw that chart about this where it was describing where the comfort zone or the where the growth zone lies? It is kind of like outside of the comfort zone.
Yeah,
The
you
circular
you grow
diagram.
when you're outside of your comfort zone.
Do you have any stories, Martin?
I mean, I resonated a lot with what she said because, and I think I'm sure you did too because we basically did that, and we're here in Estonia, and it was the same for me, I think. But I wasn't really crying or anxious.
You were excited.
It was scary though. It was scary because once I got this opportunity, I was like, okay, is this happening now? It's not. It's real, and the realization is it hits on another level. But it was actually quite exciting because it was something new, and I don't know. I'm just kind of my mind works this way that I am just excited about new stuff. And yeah, so and now I just I've been here for already how long? 4 years?
Almost
4
4 years.
years.
Yes.
Almost 4 years. 3.5.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's cool. I'm doing a podcast with locals, so I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah.
I never saw this coming, but yeah.
Yeah.
And
I think I also feel the same. I think in the past, I don't know if I was ever scared to go out of my comfort zone. Maybe when I was doing some exam or like some difficult task or something like that. But if I have to like move out of my country or like traveling to different cities,
Mhm.
I'm always excited. I am always excited about new opportunities. Even like starting the podcast, okay, I'm gonna start it. Like I don't care what other people think of me. Like I'm gonna go for it like this.
Yeah.
I don't know where did it come from, but yeah. But it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When was the first time? When was the first time you actually were out of your comfort zone? You remember?
Mm.
I think I remember.
I've never thought about that.
Yeah, me
It's
neither.
very interesting. Where did it start?
That's
right?
deep, Martin.
It is deep.
might be longer here. I don't know.
I think, like, if I think right now, I think one of my first memories is that when I was, I think, 7 or something, my parents took me to like a summer camp,
Mhm.
and it was first time being away from home for a week with also strangers. I see that there's a pattern here, but I remember that it was a bit uncomfortable for me.
Yeah,
Mm.
but
But it really grew me, I think, as a
Mm.
child to be more independent. So
well, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Mm. What was your story? You said you remember when you went out of.
Yeah, I think I was also like around six
Mm.
or I was 6,
mm-hmm.
and it wasn't my. Yeah, so basically, parents, they do these things and they don't think about kids sometimes.
They don't sometimes.
Yeah, especially when they're little. So basically, I started my school actually. So I am from Azerbaijan,
Mhm.
and I went to kindergarten there, and I started actually my school there too. And after a few months, uh, we so my family moved to Russia, because my father was working there and living there basically, and that was a big change for me because I had to drop my school, and basically all the friends I know and everyone leave it all behind and go somewhere cold and completely a different environment. And I was just a kid, and I wasn't really like, I don't know. It for me it was like, I don't know. I wasn't really realizing what's going on, and so I had to learn the language in less than a year or something and go to this other school, and I think that was extreme,
Mm.
but
As a kid.
yeah,
That is-
Yeah.
I think so. It was a lot, but it was cool. I think when I look back, I think it's pretty cool,
Mhm.
even though it was difficult. But I think it's cool now that I I can speak Russian now fluently, and
Yes, I'm proud of you.
yeah, now learning Estonian actually. So it's
Yes.
gonna be my fifth language, probably.
Wow.
Fifth language.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
So here we are.
Let's go.
Go out of your comfort zone, and you'll get there.
Yeah.
You'll do great things, and yeah.
That's a good advice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so let's talk about okay, have you ever thought of like implementing the things that you have learned in this organization, right? Like doing something outside of it. Doing something, maybe different projects, or like, I don't know, giving back to the locals or something like this.
One of JCI's pillars is also a community,
Mm-hmm.
so giving back to community.
Mm-hmm.
I personally haven't done any community projects yet because I have been there for like a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like that's something that I really, really would like to do in the future.
Mm.
And in the past, there has been a lot of community projects in JCI before, like giving gifts to children around Christmas time. Also, Let's Do It World or World Cleanup Day started from JCI,
Mm-hmm.
and other projects like that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I have so you've taken this trainings and like you've learned some stuff. So here's my question to you: name 3 things that you gained there and that are really beneficial in your life, like career, personal life.
Mhm. I'll probably focus on still this communication part.
Mm.
It's very common on when you go to a traditional training course. You have your lecturers. They do their engagement. Maybe they show you a few slides. You might learn a thing or two. You go. At the JCI training session course, it's highly common that it's going to be very interactive. So now everybody please stand up and talk to the person on your left and ask this person what was the first thing, la la la, you know. So, and it's a community where it really enforces you know, you have to do it, you're there now, and you know, you purchase the ticket, and it really encourages you to engage other people and communicate with them. For sure, that's one. Two more, right? So I would say for sure the one would be public speaking. So there's also been trainings that focus on that, how to be the speaker yourself, how to engage a larger or a smaller group of people at the same time, and you don't look at the crowds, you look at the individuals and persons, for example. And what else?
It can be small, it can be big, anything.
Can I add?
Yes,
Yeah, go ahead.
please.
Yeah, I feel like maybe it's also connected to communication, but as JCI is a volunteer organization, you have to motivate people to do it voluntarily.
Okay.
So it's not like at your job, you hire a person and you pay them and you also motivate them, but like they have to be there because they want to live, you know? But if you're doing volunteer job, you have to get something extra from there. So you have to find ways how to motivate people, and people are different, so different things motivate them.
Yeah.
For one, it can be like Jonas said, the trainings, you know. The other, it can be doing something for their community or getting to know new people. It can be so many different things, and you just have to get to know them and motivate them through that.
That's very good. Like how I see things, people are mainly motivated by three things: money,
Definitely.
then say publicity or kind of recognition and being the star, being on stage, being the kind of that person. And the third one is giving back and giving back to the community and kind of, that part of kind of living. And it seems to be the case that the biggest entrepreneurs and the biggest stars and the biggest people of them all are usually in the third category. Weirdly enough, right? So and they have all of the three other things or the two other things as well.
Yeah. I wanted to add something, but I forgot. Okay. I wanted to ask about like, after maybe some events or something, how do the people like give you guys feedback about maybe certain event? Like, do they want to join the project or JCI and these kind of youth organizations? Or like, I just want to know like how, like what kind of motivation do they gain through these things?
Most of the times it's one-to-one conversations. So maybe at that event you connect with somebody, and then after that you will ask them like, hey, do you want to go and grab a coffee? Are you interested? What is the fact or what is the aspect of what is interesting them? Things like that. I think that's like the one-to-one connection is the main thing, how people are giving us feedback and also joining us.
What kind of communities you are mostly involved in JCI? Is it like entrepreneurship or like maybe other areas? I don't know what other exist.
Yeah, there's not a line there. So it can be anything you want.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have an idea that you want to create, you can do that. So it can be even like children or entrepreneurs or students or yeah, there's not like a line there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a concept of in JCI called 1 year to lead, and in that 1 year's time, a topic or topics can then be in focus for that 1 year. Maybe entrepreneurship, mental health, whatever basically, and that can be then changed up as we go, or something new might come up, or some new opportunity might pop up for next year that wasn't there before.
Have you ever got some projects from the United Nations? I think it's kind of. I think I saw partnership or something.
So I know that your projects are based on sustainable development goals that are basically defined by United Nations. And it's what, due in 5 years?
Yeah, they should be connected to these points of
Yeah.
sustainable development.
Have you ever been outside of Estonia and maybe conferences or something?
With JCI?
Yeah.
I have been to European Academy, which is like a 4-day training for people all over Europe in JCI that are taking leadership positions. Yeah, usually they're being the next presidents or something like that. And this year I'm going to the conference as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good opportunity. Like I think it like opens the doors to lots of things.
Absolutely, because as I am pretty much a new member, like being here for 1.5 years or something like that. My first international event was the European Academy. So before that, I felt like, okay, we're here Estonians. Yeah, I know that it's like international, but I hadn't really felt that before. But when I was there, I was like, wow, like, because we could connect with them in the same way that we're connecting with the other JCI people that are in Estonia. And that was kind of weird, but good weird. Yeah.
I was with Celine at the European Academy, and I can confirm that it's an amazing experience. The program itself is extremely well kept secret, so we can't share too much what happens there. But it occurs every year. So, it can be attended by JCI members across the world, and I think we had a good number of attendees last time from Estonia, and it's a lot of cool young leaders attend these types of events.
How old is JCI? When was it established?
The first organization. That's a good question. I think in Estonia it was 89. No.
Yeah, 89. Yeah.
1989.
Tallinn was first.
89.
Yeah.
Wow.
89. But actually, JCI in general is older. But I don't know the certain year, unfortunately.
I'm not gonna guess.
Yeah.
And how old are you guys?
I'm 25.
I'm 32.
Oh my god!
I can share my shampoo.
Yeah, this is one thing about Estonians. You can never tell how old they are.
Really? I don't know.
I can't. They look
Really?
younger than they are, I think.
I didn't know that. I thought that was true for Asians, not Europeans.
I mean, it's crazy. Sometimes they ask for my ID in the store when I want to buy energy drinks. And you're not allowed to buy them 16 years old. Yeah, so I'm like,
Oh
okay, I don't have my ID with me. What we're gonna do now?
Yeah. I was in a youth organization, NGO too, for a year actually. I was volunteering there. Like, I think I finished in 2020, so yeah, 5 years ago. Isaac, It used to be in Estonia too, but I think when I arrived here in 21, they closed it
Mm.
because some inactivity. But it's also like a very similar, I think, like establishment that is for young people, and it's also about projects and stuff. I think it was, I don't know, working a bit differently. But it's also quite old, and I can like resonate a lot with what you're talking about, guys. And like, I made it to the team leader, and
Wow.
yeah, first six. Like it was like by terms. I think maybe you have terms there too. Maybe I don't know.
Mm.
Like 6 months, and then we had to look for new opportunities, something like
We have
that.
a year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Usually.
It's usually the leadership
Yeah.
roles. There's local organizations, Tallinn, Tartu, etc.
Yeah.
But there's also JCI Estonia, kind of the
Yeah,
umbrella
yeah.
organization, and they have their own leadership team.
Yeah, for me it was because I was just a member. It was only 6 months, and then I became a team leader, and I had my team members. It was pretty cool, and at some point I was working like basically full time there, but it was so much fun, and yeah, it was one of the best experiences I've had.
What did you learn from there?
So back then I wasn't speaking English that well,
Mm.
so I was meeting with a lot of international people, and I was like, I polished my English there.
Mm.
And then like I was working on these social projects that were also tied to sustainable development goals, actually. And so I had like really cool experiences, like working with kids in orphanage. I was coordinating these projects where people from abroad would come and do like teach these kids English, or do some art, or we would go and like help animals in this what's that place called, shelter. Shelter. Jinx. Yeah, so it was really cool, but then I was actually encouraged to take a higher leadership role, like for a year, like you guys. Like we had committees there and stuff, and I said, no, I can't do it. I couldn't do it because of priorities in my life, but I think it would have been cool
Yeah.
to do it. But then there was COVID, and things got really complicated.
Yeah.
And in a way, I was glad that I didn't go for it, because then it wouldn't be a full
Kind of
experience, because basically everything is closed. And yeah, but it's really cool that you guys are doing this, and you actually went for this big leadership roles, because it's also a lot of responsibility. Because it's not just about now your self-development, but it's also about the development of people who are basically following you, the members of this organization. So it's really cool. Yeah. Kudos to you.
Thank you.
Yeah. What's the hardest thing that you guys learned in this youth organization?
I feel like for me, you were also talking about priorities. And for me, it's balancing everything on my plate.
Definitely.
I have a full-time job. Thankfully, I don't have kids, because otherwise, like, I don't know how people are doing that. You're trying to, I don't know, go to the gym, have relationships with other people around you, not only JCs, like my boyfriend, my family, my other friends, maybe having some hobbies next to that, you want to do something different. So you have to really think about your time and set your priorities, because in my head, I have so many new ideas all the time. I would like to do everything. If somebody tells me like, hey, would you like to also join with that? I'm like, yeah. And then I'm like, actually, no, because I'm looking at my calendar and I'm like, okay, it's not possible. So you have to set your priorities right. I think that's one of the hardest things that I have learned, but also really beneficial, I think.
The ability to say no. I think, yeah.
Yeah, you can continue.
It is the same for me basically. But the hardest thing to learn here, at least for me, would be the ability to say no to so many amazing things and opportunities that
Yeah.
you just can't. You know, you have
Yeah,
to say
yeah.
there's priorities. I have two children actually,
Mm.
and
I
you know,
was about to ask.
and with the, you know, I have a wife and you know, with the family, a full-time job. It's possible for theoretically, and it appears for some individuals to consider JCI as a full-time gig. You can put so much time into it. You'll get out a lot from it as well. But you know, if you want to live a balanced life, then you're learning how to say no. That's for certain.
Yeah. I think I have also learned to say no to people or even to some events if that's not on my list, you know. That's
But I think the hardest thing is that if the thing is on your list, you want to do it.
yeah.
But you just have so many other
Yes.
things that you have already told yes to, you know. So you have to keep that in mind that every
Yeah.
time you say yes to something, you
You're
say
committing.
no something as well at the same time because you cannot
Mhm.
commit to different things at the same time.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, well, it's hard, but we have to say no, right? If we
Yeah.
want to like have like balance life kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, not to get burnout, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, because then you can't do anything.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Mm.
then you have to take your time and heal. And yeah. I am that kind of person who always says yes to anything. Like I
Are you
I
a
would
people's
go,
pleaser or no?
yeah, but
Are you?
like, but it's becoming more difficult. Or like with time, it's becoming more difficult to say yes to things because I'm like, yeah, but then how?
Yeah.
I'm like, I wish I could figure out how I can do this all because yeah, it's like crazy.
I am like saying
Last
no to
year,
what? Whatever.
last year, she randomly messaged me and said, "Do you want to do podcast?"
Yeah, I did.
And now here we are.
Here we are.
It's ridiculous, guys.
But we used to talk sometimes, like casually.
Yeah,
Very rare.
yeah.
It's very
And we
rare.
weren't even close or anything, but
Yeah.
yeah, it just
We were just
decide-
university friends.
yeah. So we decided to do it, and it's been difficult actually for me
To manage
to
time.
to manage my time and invest into this thing. But I've been well, here I am.
Yeah.
I'm doing this, but yeah, it's definitely it's becoming more difficult, and I wish I could do more stuff. But also I wanna sometimes just do nothing and chill and
Yeah,
enjoy life.
yeah. I think after knowing you for a bit, I kind of understood like your personality. And I already knew that, oh, yes, Martin is going through this stuff. That's why he cannot do some of this stuff if I tell him. So I stopped asking for making some things, you know.
But I know that.
Yeah. But I understand where you're coming from and going through these other
I
things.
appreciate that.
Yeah, these hobbies you have, like lots of hobbies and stuff you are doing and stuff.
Yeah. Some of them I haven't
Yeah.
actually picked up.
There's actually like a TikTok or a reel trend going around, or it's on my page. You know, you have definitely different videos that are coming to your pages, but about this like, what is the point of life? You know, it's really getting deep. You know, but like
Okay.
as a person that wants to do things all the time and be successful with the things that I'm doing, I'm sometimes getting really stressed with them, like having a lot of responsibility on my shoulders. And then I tend to forget what is actually the point of life, like spending time with your loved ones and like taking a slow walk and like, I don't know,
Yeah.
petting the animals and like small things in life that we also have to think about.
Underrated things.
Yeah, they shouldn't be.
They shouldn't.
I think the younger generations these days are heavily influenced by the devices we have at the tables here,
Media.
and you know, with all of those hours spent in a day on looking at and TikToks and reels and everything like that, you know, you see these fabulous life kind of images, manners on Mediterranean and yachts and you know Porsches and these types of things, and it would appear that the younger people are drawn to it, to the appeal of those types of things, and they kind of occasionally dedicate themselves to the hustle life, and you know, I'm ready to work, I'm willing to put in the hours, and for those reasons I was extremely happy when we had the co-founder of Tesla, Kristel Kruustük, attend our conference a few weeks back, and she brought in you know, this is a person with the co-founder of Tesla. They're worth like 60 million euros, like crazy success, and she had her in a small little town in Estonia, Rakvere, and she has her 2 boys, you know, age like, you know, like 4, 5, 6 years of age, and with her husband sitting in the first row and you know talking about what she's doing with her life. I think that's a good counterweight to the sports cars and manners, and kind of these 23-year-olds can sit in the crowd there and kind of you know, see also those type of people, that it's success and money, but there's also other things besides, you know, next to it.
Yeah. Kind of reminded me of this cartoon Soul. It's called Soul.
I don't know.
I don't
From
know.
Disney, or it was at Pixar.
What's the spelling?
It was
What is
about this stuff, you know. It's like basically the point of that cartoon, the animated movie, basically.
But what was it about?
It
Like,
was
what
about a musician, jazz musician,
Ah,
who wanted to. Oh my God, he had a big dream, and once he achieved it, he was like, you know,
What's it
he
called?
was there, and then he was like, okay, but I don't feel it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was.
Yeah.
But I think it's the thing with a lot of really successful people, like we see that they are struggling.
Yeah.
So
I think they could be the case
Yeah.
that they you know, it's the happiness of pursuit. It's that it's the happiness is the byproduct of moving towards a certain goal, and once it's obtained, you need a new goal. You can't
Yeah,
say,
yeah.
you know, I'm a millionaire now.
what now?
What
Yeah.
now?
Billionaire.
What now?
Yeah.
And you need a new one. You know, may it
Mm.
be financial or something other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. After they have already achieved the thing that they wanted to achieve, now what's next? They don't know.
Yeah, they chase something,
Yeah.
like they chase an illusion, I think, you know.
Mm.
Or I don't know.
True.
There is also like this thing where people are just chasing happiness, where like I don't think it's meant to be chased,
Mm.
you know. You can have it if you want it
Yeah.
anytime. Just
Yeah.
it depends on your mindset, and I think yes, I agree that we're affected a lot by media and by I think we're really being heavily affected by media, social media. Fun fact, I don't have a TikTok.
Mm.
That's good
Feels
for you.
pretty
That's
good.
good for you.
It feels
We
really
have
good.
TikTok for Evolving Echoes podcast.
yeah, but I'm not using it.
Yeah, I need to
just
upload
use it.
videos.
I use it to post things
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, but I don't use it to watch stuff. And to be
Yeah,
honest,
yeah.
I quit
Mhm.
watching news. I'm trying to stay away from this stuff because
Yeah.
it's driving me crazy.
Mm. Sometimes when I have set my mind like, oh, if I'm scrolling a lot on Instagram or TikTok or something, I'm not gonna be happy. That's why I do not even open those things.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the first step. I think when you are really clear about what you want, I think in your mind, then either like, okay, even if it's there, I'm not gonna touch it. It's like,
Mm.
yeah.
hmm
Yeah.
But how do you manage? Like you have a family, and you
Mm.
have a full-time job, I guess.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, and you are volunteering, and you have a
Ooh, strong man.
yeah. You can give us a cool insight that we don't have definitely this kind of experience. So
Yes.
I mean, yeah, that's a good one. One has to, it's good to have a some technological assistant. You need a a calendar in extremely good working order, and I plan my time meticulously for that to be possible, and I say no to a lot of good things. I'm not nearly going to as many conferences and events as I would like to, unfortunately. But then again, that comes back to this balanced life topic, and being and also talking with my wife, we are in agreement on how much and where my time goes. It wasn't like I just took on these responsibilities by my own accord and then said,
Yeah.
it's my business, and you guys can do what you want, and it doesn't work like that. And you have to take into consideration what how does it affect the people that are closest to you, and then you evaluate and how big is the effect, and how is it basically answering the question, is it worth it?
Mm-hmm.
And it definitely seems to be the case that it's essential you have to have a very good agreement and talk things out with your spouse if you're doing these types of things at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
But
is it worth it?
it's worth it. Oh yes.
Nice.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. I think that's the question I'll ask myself when I'm like 85 or 90 or like 100, and then looking back, if it all, was it hard? Yes. It can be pretty hard, but that's the question that one has to answer then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. I think I have the last question. Okay, if anyone wants to get involved into this youth organization, what should they start doing?
I think the first step is to follow our social media
Mm-hmm.
and then see an event. We have a lot of them. And then just come to the event and meet people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think networking is a large part of this.
Yeah, and I really encourage people to do it, even if they are maybe scared of coming alone.
Yeah.
For example, I met a girl in, I think it was in March. We had like our networking event where we just gather people together, talk about what we are doing, and give them a chance to meet with new different people with questions.
Mm-hmm.
And she came there just alone. She was just curious, like, what is this organization? And yeah, yesterday we met again and we talked and we had a good time. And she's maybe joining us, maybe not, but like she definitely gained something new in her life. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's insightful. Do you have anything, Martin?
No, I'm grateful, guys, you came today, and it seems like you are very busy people, but you had some time for us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Yeah.
It's been a pleasure to have a talk with you, and it's been really nice actually to talk about this.
Yeah, it's the end of our episode now.
Yeah,
Yes.
subscribe, like,
Yes. It's
follow
whatever
us,
Martin says.
and try out this JCI events too.
Yeah. Then see you in the next one. Bye.
Cheers.